Oh gosh, good morning. Another Sunday is here. Well, before we start, I'm going to have a bit of a coffee. Lots of things going on in the garden at the moment, despite the weather. What am I doing here? I've got all this stuff here. Good morning, Sharon. I was just going to show you, although it's all about plants, a bit of it isn't really. To get the stool up and running, I have to do all these sort of things. We've got some really extra large lollipop sticks here. Basically what I've got to do is I've got to put together these signs for the stool. What I did this year, like last year, I've treated you really, because these are a couple of signs from last year. I bought some, morning Ellie, morning Joe, I brought some named variety hyacinths. So we've got Jambos, which is a deep pink, Gypsy Queen, which is quite a sort of peachy colour one, Blue Star, which is, as the name says, blue, Woodstock, which is a lovely mauve one. I've had this one before, but I couldn't find the sign, so I had to make another one yesterday. Kanagi, I can never pronounce this name. Anyway, look, it's a white one. Morning, Sally. Joanna, which is a lovely tall pink one. And the City of Harlem, which is a beautiful yellow. Again, I've had this one, but I couldn't find a sign, so I've had to make another one yesterday. And China Pink, which is a new variety I've got, which is quite a light pink. So basically, I get these signs laminated. That takes time. I've got to do them on the computer, print them, laminate them, and then I basically just, with this clear adhesive tape, I just stick the lollipops on to make the signs to go in the bulbs. I'll just quickly do this. I'm just showing you this just to prove that it's not just about growing plants at the moment. It's all the other side things that have to be done. There you go. As you can imagine, getting the stool up and running like this takes a lot of time. And you're all sitting there thinking, why is he doing that in the greenhouse? Well, I wouldn't normally do it in the greenhouse. I'm just doing it to show you that these are the sort of jobs I have to do. All I wanted to do was grow plants. Anyway, I won't. Yes, I will do them, but we'll keep you waiting, and I'll do them all because I want to get them done. Should have finished it yesterday, but I thought, no, I won't finish it today. I'll just show you tomorrow. I think behind me I've got a tray of bulbs. That's the other thing I do. It's not a simple job. Putting the pots in the trays is not simple, because I've got the hyacinths growing in the large greenhouse. I'm in the small cedarwood greenhouse at the moment, but in the large greenhouse I've got the bulbs growing, and I've got them growing in a bed of sharp sand on the staging, which is brilliant, but it's not brilliant in some ways because the roots come through the pots and go into the sharp sand. And the other thing is, don't forget when you've got your roll of clear tape like this, just to fold over that last bit so that you can get to the end of it. Who's done that with sellotape? Can't find the end of the sellotape. Oh, I tell you, it's very nippy in here this morning. Morning Lindy, morning Mel, morning Ray, morning Susan. Sorry if I've missed you, I've been head down busy. So behind me somewhere I should have, there's so much going on in this little tiny greenhouse. Behind me I should have a tray full of hyacinths ready. There you go. That's one I prepared earlier. Not a brilliant tray, look at that. So all those black pots are Kanagi, the white one. There's the sign for that, there you go. And all the other ones at the back there are Woodstock. I think Woodstock's one of my favourites actually. It's a very deep purple. And there's no reason why later this morning they can't be on the stool. There you go. It's just another little insight into what we do. So I've got all these different sorts in the big greenhouse. It's another job for this week, sorting them out and getting them all out on the front. So you see the £1.50 each, which is all you do is just transfer them to pots or your garden, and they'll keep coming back for years and years. So that's that now. I've still got a few more. Got hundreds of bulbs to pot. I've still got some pots, some bulbs to pot on. But before we get into anything like that, I'll just show you something else. Now these, I don't know why I put my gloves on really, because I'm not at that stage yet. Right. What I'm going to do, David's forgot to get his little clippers, which are up here on the shelf. There we go. My super little clippers. Where's my? Do you know my sister's been in this greenhouse this week, and she's rearranged it, bless her, didn't you say? And do you know I can't find anything now? Morning, Anita. Are any of you like that? You know, if you have a tidy up at home, or someone tidies up for you, can you not find anything anymore? Anyway, it's brilliant. What you did, Sally, is brilliant, but I'm struggling to find things. Oh dear, I'm really struggling, but there you go. Yeah, a few weeks ago, and the other thing I did tell you is we're back on the normal tripod, so it's not gonna move when I move, because you know, I've got this phrase in life, you know, it's all about the planning. Well, it was about 9:10. I thought, all right, okay, I better get the camera in the tripod quick, because it's all quite rushed to get this thing going. Morning, Valerie. Yes, well, you knew I'd blame you, didn't you, Sally? I can't find a thing, but there you go. It does look a lot tidier. Anyway, it's 9:10 this morning. I get me phone in the tripod. I think, you know, it's because it's a high-tech sort of does these clever things like following your face when you move. It has to be charged up, doesn't it? So, and the first time since I've had it, oh, this says slow connection now. I hope it's working, because I'm working on my data. Anyway, so it's 9:10, and I tried to connect it with the Bluetooth, and then I got a red light come up. I thought, oh gosh, a red light. Never seen one of them before. Because it needs charging, doesn't it? So there you go. So we're back on the normal little tripod, which is okay, because I think with this one you can sort of do things like that, you know. So you can't see my face, you can see what I'm doing, won't it? But we'll try that bit later if I get it right. Anyway, the other thing I was going to say is these live feeds, they only get kept for 30 days. So unless I do copy them to YouTube, which is not simple. It's not simple at all, actually, but I can do it. I've done it once, I think. So I could copy them to YouTube, but I'm thinking, who wants to watch me for 30 minutes? In fact, quite a few people do. I'll tell you a funny story also. I went out with some friends Tuesday. We had a sort of coffee morning. I went out with some friends. I haven't seen for ages. And this person, she could be watching. I won't say who it was. Anyway, she said, oh, hello. And she said, I get these messages. As soon as I'm getting up in the morning, on a Sunday morning, she said, I get these messages saying David H. Woods is waiting for you. And I thought it was funny, actually, but there you go. Anyway, it was funny. It's the way you tell them, isn't it? Anyway, these are saxatile, which is the yellow Alison. And I think it's a superb rockery plant to go with Albrecia. Now, these three I potted on, I don't know, quite a few weeks ago, and they, to be honest with you, they've been left in the large greenhouse and neglected, probably not been watered for a little while, you know, and that's what they're looking like. Pretty sad, really, isn't it? But look at all the growth in the middle. Can you see how the plant is growing? Now, trust me, these are going to be fantastic plants. So what I'm going to do, because you want to take off these sort of yellow leaves that can get sort of mildew and mould, and if you leave them, they'll spread to the rest of them. Although, having said that, looking at these leaves now, this is a very hardy plant, and I don't think the mould would go from one leaf to the other. So anyway, what I'm going to do is just take these dead leaves off here, and you can see that that instantly looks so much better. It's one of the jobs I would have to do, obviously, before they go on the stall. But trust me, when these go on the stall, I mean, they could go on the stall now. In fact, they probably could, couldn't they? So I question myself there. But look how much different that looks. And that will have a beautiful, beautiful, bright yellow flower on in a few weeks' time. Superb colour, the brightest yellow flowers in the garden, to be honest. And they go lovely in a rockery next to the mauve Albrecia. I've seen them trailing down walls, the Albrecia, with these at the top, and they are a most fantastic combination. But anyway, so that's, I'm just doing this to quickly show you that these need to, you know, another job in the greenhouse. And as you can see, all these things take time. They all take so much time. Anyway, and it's not particularly warm again this morning. Quite a miserable day out there, isn't it? It's all dull and dark. I suppose you're in the warm. I'm in this greenhouse, and it's the heater's not been on. If I look at the thermometer, and I haven't reset that recently, it's 8.2 in here now, and it's been down to 3.5. But I have got heaters that come on and off. So anyway, so I've done all those three, but then on the same note, in my polytunnel, I've got trays of these in the little pots, and they need potting on. Now this is what they look like. Oh dear, and there's the 3 gaps from those plants I've just shown you. Now, can you see the difference in the size of one of these and one of those? Look. That's why we need to pop things on. The plants will grow relative to the size of the pot that they're in normally. So what I need to do with these is pop these on, and I think obviously the first thing to do is take your plant. Oops, I knew that would happen. I just need to tighten this thing up. Bear with me a second. There should be a little twisty thing. Yeah, there you go. You're not going to see me now, but you're going to see a little bit more detail. Just taking these dead leaves off. There you go. Look at that. Look at the detail. You don't see that level of detail on Alan Titchmarsh, do you? There you go. Look at that. And then we'll just knock that out the pot. Just quite a lot of roots in here, so just push it in like that to ease the roots. Push the bottom. There you go. Lovely rooted plant. Then I need to get my grey pot, which I haven't now. So we'll have a red pot today. That's something else I didn't prepare. There's always something on these live shows that I don't do. Just get it half filled up with compost, so that when you put your plant in there, it's sort of level with the top. Try and hold these leaves up like this. And everyone is shouting in the camera, why is he doing it without his gloves on? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Push the compost down around the plant like that. Give it a tap. Done. Saxatol, yellow saxatol. And I obviously have to do that with all this tray full. There's 24 in a tray. We'll just do another one quickly. So I'll get all these dead leaves off first. If there's a leaf that's starting to go yellow like that one, I'll take that off as well. Cut it right back to the main stem. These plants do get quite bushy, so when I say main stem, it's quite difficult to get right back sometimes because they are bushing out already. They don't need cutting back. In fact, you don't need to do anything with them. All you need to do with these is just push them into your flowering place in the garden. So there's another one. Just ease the roots, hold the leaves like that, push it down at the bottom to the upside down. There you go. Save a pot for another time. Get a new 3-inch, or 2.5 inch I think these are. Don't fill it too much. Put the plant in, push it into the middle, compost around the outside, sort of overfill it, and then just push the compost down around the outside, like so. Tap it. Another one done. There you go. That's what we do. And I've got, I don't know, I've got about 5 or 6 trays of those, so I've got probably, I need to get this back up, and I've tightened it up too much. Where's the thing? There you go. There you go, you got me back. Oh gosh, we're struggling here. There you go. So that's the yellow saxatol, and you can see the difference, can't you, between the one I've just done and the one that I did a few weeks ago. It's a shame I didn't get round to doing them all, but you know, there's lots of other things going on at the moment. It takes time. So that's another job we're doing. No, I can't believe it. I've looked in the boxes this morning and I've still got a few crocus. You don't say crocuses, do you? Say, I don't know even when you say croci. We'll say crocus. I've got this one called, and I can't pronounce it. I'm just going to show you the name. I know it's back to front, but it's crocoli. Don't forget the label. Yeah, well, right, Claire, you say don't forget the label. I know these are saxatol, yellow saxatol. People that buy them on the stall won't. So there will be labels done, but I don't need to do them at this stage. The reason why I need to do labels in things like the crocus that I'm doing is once they're in the pot, you can't tell what they are. And even with the crocus, you can't tell what type it is when it's growing, because they basically are all the same. So these are really large crocus, desperately in need to be in the pots. They should have been put in weeks ago, to be honest, but they'll be fine. They're really still very solid, and these are a big bulb. This is quite a big crocus. It's and look what I did, just for you lot. I printed off a picture of what these are going to be like. This crocus comes from Pakistan and Afghanistan, That's where it originates from. And believe it or not, it is a scented version. It's a scented crocus, this beautiful rich yellow colour with sort of brown outer petals and a beautiful yellow inside, and scented. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to pot up a few of these crocoli, whatever, I can't even pronounce it. Korolkowii. I did read on the internet that it's also named after the celandine. I didn't look up what celandine is. Some of you watching and listening probably know, but it's obviously going to be some form of yellow flower, because I sometimes call it the celandine crocus because it resembles the colour of a celandine. So there you go, there's 25 bulbs in there. I've got 100 of these bulbs. Because they are so big, they're going to go in these small, look at that. For the first time this morning, David puts his hand on a pot. There you go. So these are going to be the sort of 3/4, in this case, black pots. And because of the size of the bulb, yeah, we're just going to get, you're going to get 2 in a pot, because they're going to be quite difficult. Right, so let's go. I think you can see, can't you? That why don't you see me and the bulb as well? That's the best idea, isn't it? Right, so we'll get the pot just above half full of compost, and then we'll push these into the compost side by side. You don't get anything for a pair, but you do in this game. You do in this game. There you go. We'll just cover them with compost and that's done. And then the fun bit that you're all going to say, I mean, I can see Claire shouting now, morning Ali. It is a beautiful crocus, you're right. We can see you in the bulb too. Yeah, best of both worlds, Ali. Best of both worlds, right. Right, all to hand. We've got the labels, and here we go. Let's try and spell this word. Oh dear. So Korolkowii. It's the 25th of the 1st. I'm going to put on there yellow crocus. There you go. How beautiful is that? Lovely, lovely, lovely handwriting. Morning, Betsy. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to writing 50 of those, but there you go. That's a completed pot. So for this exercise, for today, I don't need to write any more. I can write them later in the house, in the warm. But we perhaps should, I should have put my gloves on really, but we're going to carry on. So just above halfway, put the bottle. Crumbs, these are really advanced. Look, the bulbs are going to, these bulbs are going to be outside the top of the compost when I do this. There you go, look, they're already showing. Some more. 2 more. 1, 2. So I've gone quiet because I'm concentrating. 1, 2. The gardening does give you a lot of time to think, doesn't it? You know, to reflect. That's why I think it's quite good for your mental health. It's a nice relaxing. Well, I say it's nice relaxing. You've got to enjoy it, but I think if you do start gardening, you will soon start to enjoy it, especially when you see the results. I mean, these, you can't even see anything on there, but I just know, trust me, that these are going to look fantastic. Like Harry said, it's a beautiful crocus. And this will be available on the store in a couple of weeks' time, to be honest, because it won't take these long to get rooted and sprouting up. You can have them ready to put in your gardens. So this is the Kororoki. Can't even pronounce it. Right, what I need to do, I've done quite a few of those already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that'd be 14 bulbs. So these bulbs here, what I must do is put this label in here. In fact, that would be best underneath the bulbs, wouldn't it, David? Let's get this organised. Put the packet in there and the bulbs on top, so I don't get them mixed up. Well, to be honest with you, I'm not going to get them mixed up. They're quite a unique looking bulb. I must get them in the pots, so I don't want any little four-legged friends touching them later today. Right, here we go. Another one, Allium roseum. There you go, there's 25 in there. And I did notice yesterday when I was trying to find the labels for the hyacinths from last year, Allium roseum, look, beautiful pink flower heads on these alliums. Get them in your gardens, they should come up every year. It should show that sign, what height they grow. I suppose it says on this little packet of bulbs. Height 20 to 30 centimetres, so it'll grow up to foot tall. Part shade, full sun, pale pink. It's got all the plant passport details on here from Farmer Grace. You look, all the detail there. You can't, as you know, you can't import plants or bulbs or anything like that without a proper plant passport. And did you know, even doing what I'm doing, I have to register as a plant grower with DEFRA. I've got registration numbers and things. It's all sorted out. It's something I had to do when I started it 5 years ago. Right, I just put these bulbs in here. So right, we've got 25 bulbs in here, and I think I've got 100 of these. One left in the bottom there. Make sure they're all out the packet before that goes into recycling. And again, like the crocus, I should have put the packet in the tray, so I know what they are. So there, that. Right, let me just show you a couple of these. So you can see how they've got the shoots developing already. I think because these are alliums, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to keep them in the smaller pots, and David has some red 3/4 pots. So in this case, we're going to do it 3/4, 2 alliums, done. That's all compost on the outside because the pot's wet, you know. This is one of the problems this time of year, everything's wet, isn't it? Right, where's my pen? So we want the Allium roseum. What I could do, could be kind for you on the stool, I'll put Allium pink roseum, 25th August. Roseum. There you are, Claire, it's already labelled up. Morning Peter, morning John. So that's one of those, and I've got, obviously if I've got 50 of these bulbs, oh, sorry, 100 of these bulbs, 2 in each pot, I've got 50 to do. 3/4, 2 bulbs, done. Right, these are the different colour pots to the crocus, so I'm not going to get them mixed up as long as I pick the same pots. Gosh, do you know, I bet Sally's shouting at me on the camera, I've gone past my time. Now, you know, there's a saying in life, isn't there? Doesn't time fly when you're enjoying yourself? There you go. I don't know what I've done this morning, but the time has flown past. We've done saxatiles, we've done arsenth labels, rosea malleums. The only other one I was going to show you, but I could save it for next week, although it needs to be potted up. I've got some more Alaska iris. This is a white iris. Does DEFRA visit and inspect you with what you're doing if you're registered? No, it doesn't, Ray, but they do tell me to keep records for 7 years. 7 years, can you believe? So I have to record where all these plants and bulbs come from. There you go. They are fantastic bulbs. Look at the size of that. Now you're going to get one bulb in a large pot like that, and that's the white Alaska iris. These are superb bulbs, really solid, shooting already and ready to go in. And on that note, I'm going to say cheerio to you all. I hope you've enjoyed today. Hope you all have a good week, and I'll see you same time next week, and I'll let you get on and get another cup of coffee or tea. Yeah, you're quite right there, Claire. Plenty of spreadsheets going on in the background. And Alan Titchmarsh will be on soon. See if he's better than me. Bye, everybody. Bye.